Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Hazen Barrel Craftworks here on the Hazen Barrel Homestead and the Humble Whiskey Room. I'm the Alchemist. Have you ever passed by a whiskey just because of the way it looks? I have a friend in one of my whiskey Discord channels who says she doesn't drink a whiskey that needs a belt. If you like me and you like this whiskey, you probably know just exactly the whiskey I'm talking about. I like this whiskey, but this whiskey gets its inspiration from an individual named Meredith. And he took a journey back in the mid 1780s from Maryland down south to what we now know as Bardstown, Kentucky. And he was a rye farmer, and he took his rye know-how and he combined it with his distilling once he got down to Bardstown to make his own spicy blend of whiskey. And this made some folks call him the father of rye whiskey. Again, some folks, not everyone. And in honor of, yes, Meredith Basil Hayden, tonight we're going to try his dark rye, Basil Hayden Dark Rye whiskey. And this dark rye isn't a traditional rye whiskey, but it's a blend of Basil Hayden's high corn mash bill, a high rye mash bill, but then it also blends a little bit of a Canadian rye whiskey and then a little bit of port to get that dark in the whiskey. So let's give this one a try and see what we think. Boy, right off the bat, on the nose, deliciously sweet. Actually pretty viscous on the palate, but that I'd have to say that port is probably the first thing that you taste on the palate, and probably the first thing that you nose as well. You also nose just a few the rye spice is nice. You get some of that rye spice in there. You get the rye spice along with that port, and it's quite a unique nose. I think Basil Hayden did a nice job of blending this one. And that finish is long. It's got a nice finish. It's long. It's sweet. And that the sweetness on the finish is hard to really nail down because it's got a little bit of what is that sweet? I'm gonna have to go in again and get that sweetness on there. It's a port. It's a port sweetness along with a delicate bit of caramel. But there's barrel in here too. There's a nice oaky barrel in there that might come from the port. It's quite nice. And the rye spices are good too. Not quite as herbal as I typically get from a really good rye, a nicely aged rye, but they're in there, and it makes this one a really good dark rye. I love the way Basil Hayden has finished this off. They've got their typical rye in here, rye spices in here. Their mash bill. They've got the Canadian rye whiskey in here to give it the rye spices. Then they've got that touch of port in here, and they blend it in here. They don't age it in a port barrel. They blend the port in here, and it makes for a really nice whiskey. So as y'all know, I love having you coming back around. So please don't drink and drive. Cheers.